What are drugs? Drugs are chemical substances that change how your body works. Some are medicines that help people when doctors prescribe them, but many of them lack medical utility. When taken, usually by swallowing, inhaling, or injecting, the drugs find their way into the bloodstream. From there, they reach the brain and other parts of the body in the brain. Drugs can heighten or dull the senses, change a person's level of alertness, and sometimes reduce physical pain.
So, types of drugs. Cannabis is a natural plant that is used in three main ways. The most common type is called rosin, which comes in solid, dark-colored blocks or chunks. The least common are the leaves and stems of the plant, called grass or weed. The third type, cannabis oil, is hardly seen in Ireland. Ecstasy. Ecstasy is usually made in clandestine laboratories in some European countries. It is usually sold in pills that have various logos or designs on them. Sometimes ecstasy pills may contain other drugs and substances. Heroin. Heroin is made from morphine, one of the drugs that comes from the geum poppy. It is consumed by injecting or smoking, which is called hunting the dragon. All of these drugs can cause you harm.
The another types of drugs is a cocaine. Cocaine is a white powder that is made from leaves of the coca, a plant that grows mainly in South America. It is usually consumed by inhaling the powder through the nose. Crack is not a separate drug, but rather a more addictive form of cocaine is crack, also called rock. Rock or freebase is usually smoked. Cocaine is sometimes injected or eaten. Also have is amphetamines. Amphetamines are a group of similar drugs. Some of them were used in the past as sliming pills. They usually come in a graving white powder and are sold in wrapped packets called papelina. They are usually swallowed, but can also be injected or snorted at types known as ice or crystal, can be smoked. Finally, we have solvents. Solvents include products found in most households, such as loose, paint thinner, nail polish, light foods, and aerosol sprays, such as deodorants. They can be inhaled with a damp cloth, cold sleeve, or directly from the can. The sprays are sprayed directly to the mouth. Solving the bows is common, especially among adolescents. For most teens, it's a fad, but it can cause health problems at school and at home.
Hi, my name is Sofia, and I'm going to talk about the drug effect. In general, drugs cause three different types of effects on the nervous system. First, stimulants literally speed up the body. Second of all, depressants make it work more slowly and induce a sensation of passive drowsiness. 3. Disturbs. These may call or you may hear as psychedelics, alter the way we perceive the outside of the world. But not all the drugs fall exactly into a certain category. Marijuana, for example, causes a bit of everything. It relaxes, calm, and some of the newer varieties also cause hallucinations. There are drugs like MDMA, ecstasy, that fall between pure stimulants and hallucinants.
Drugs interfere with the way neurons send, receive, and process signals via neurotransmitters. Some drugs, such as marijuana and heroin, can activate neurons because their chemical structure mimics that of a natural neurotransmitter in the body. When some drugs are taken, they can cause surge of these neurotransmitters much greater than the smaller bursts naturally produced in association with healthy rewards, like eating, playing music, or social interaction.
There are several factors to contribute to a drug becoming addictive. The first one is neuromedical effects. This is when increase the levels of the neurotransmitters Intense gratification in the person can lead to a constant search for the drug to maintain that pleasurable state in the brain. Also, the tolerance over time, the brain may become less sensitive to the effects of the drug, leading to the need to consume higher doses to obtain the same effect. The changes in brain structure and function also, this is when prolonged drug use can alter the brain, affecting involved in actions or activities like self-control, decision making, and emotional regulation. And the last one is genetic and environmental factors that contribute to a drug becoming addictive. Is genetic predisposition to addiction may be more vulnerable to developing drug dependence. It can be with the relation of drugs in the family, for example, or also in the social relations. In addition, environmental factors such as access to drugs, the social environment, and stress can influence the likelihood of developing an addiction.
How to leave an addiction alone. The most problematic thing about the detoxification process of a substance or a drug is this thing called withdrawal syndrome. The withdrawal syndrome consists of a set of symptoms produced by various physical and mental alterations which occur as a result of suddenly stopping the consumption of a substance. The withdrawal symptom stage is a complex phase full of discomfort and intense symptoms that can also increase the risk of relapse. One of the changes that occurs during the active use of a substance is that this addiction often affects the frontal cortex of the brain. Therefore, impulse control and judgment are impaired. Another important modification is the brain's reward system, which is the memory of the sensation of previous rewards is activating, cause more cravings or desires to consume the substance despite the negative consequences. Withdrawal syndrome is an overwhelming experience. However, a clear and appropriate line of professional intervention can make the recovery process much shorter and more manageable than quitting the addiction on your own.